Welcome to Tavern Talk. We are a full spoiler live talk show based on the epic fantasy series Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan. My name is Ryan, and joining me as always is Jansen the Gleeman and Uber brother Dan.
Hello.
Not Lyft, Uber. Thank you all for joining us. We are going to continue our series called Read Reacts, and we are going to dive into Chapter 5 of this amazing book, The Wheel of Time and Philosophy. And Chapter 5, Dan, do you want to tell us who it's written by?
Sure. It's entitled Nietzsche's Test of Time, the wheel as an existential imperative. And this was written by Stephen Michels or Michels. They are a professor of political science at Sacred Heart University and an author of Sinclair Lewis and American Democracy and the editor of Scenes from the American Working Class, This Hard Land from this year. That sounds like a cool guy.
Yeah. And this was a cool article. This article talks about Nietzsche, and there are some parameters. He does say that he is only analyzing the first 2 episodes of the Amazon's adaptation, and that kind of adds, we're going to talk about that. Although there is a mention that he does seem to know the book, so it's kind of interesting that he chose to do the TV series. But anyway, so he
gets to a broader audience.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, totally. And he is giving us kind of like a breakdown of some of key Nietzschean philosophies, theories, and adapting or kind of like merging them with the television show in this, what I thought was a really interesting way. Let's start just kind of like broad view. What did you guys think of this article?
I like some of his insights. But again, I always struggle with just coming from the show aspect of this. And maybe that's because of where I started. You know, it gives me a jaundiced view. But that being said, I have studied Nietzsche before, and I believe Nietzsche to be extremely sound. I mean, I find problems in all people's like philosophies that they stick to. Because unlike the Wheel of Time, what does Robert Jordan say? That we owe a huge debt to the Greeks because his circularity isn't how real life is. And we owe, linear time to like the Greek calendar, to things always changing. And which is, oh my God, this chapter spreads into the next chapter too. Now that I think about it.
So, I don't know much about Nietzsche. I kind of like, once I like opened this chapter title, I was like, oh shit, Nietzsche, cool. And I think I've always had this kind of like Nietzsche is cool, like idea in my head, because I've never really read him, but as like a punk rocker, I knew that he was like anti-authoritarian. He was anti-power in terms of like subjugating people in the ways that the world does. So I always thought Nietzsche was cool, but like getting into his philosophy, especially his philosophy of the Übermensch, and there seems to be like a callousness to it that I didn't know he had. But that, yeah, it's interesting. Nietzsche, like the only thing I really know about Nietzsche is that he went crazy, and Freud wrote this book about, I don't know if it's a book or a paper, but actually, well, let's bring in Joshy Poo right now.
Hello, y'all.
Yes, Josh, we're going overview of Nietzsche. Have you heard or read Freud's paper on Nietzsche and his psychotic break?
Freud's paper on Nietzsche and his psychotic break? No.
Okay. The breakdown was so basically like Nietzsche went like insane towards the end of his life, and the what made it happen. Like like a trolley driver or some sort of like wagon driver was like beating a horse with a whip, and he runs up to it. He's like, "No, no, no!" And then all of a sudden he like falls to the ground crying and like was never the same again.
Hmm.
Freud thought it was because the horse had a huge cock and made him emasculated him. He thought it was literally the horse cock, which is fun.
Well, every single thing that Freud says ends up with being something sexualized. So,
yeah.
He was right about a lot of it. He was.
Yeah.
Still, I mean, it's just like asking Russ Meyer to put a flat-chested person in his film. It's like where it's going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it might be the first time Freud like crossed into species and like us like looking at like elephants and be like, damn, I wish I wasn't so small. I don't know. I've never looked at an animal's phallus and like compared myself. I'll look at my fellow man and anyway. So yeah. I was just going into like my like ignorance of Nietzsche and how I used to like kind of think he was like the shit, but I actually didn't really. I've never read his texts. I've only really listened to a lot of people talking about him. So, Josh, Jansen read some Nietzsche. Josh, have you read Nietzsche? Do you have opinions about?
Yeah,
Nietzsche?
I read a lot of Nietzsche. Yeah, I mean, I like Nietzsche as a critic of like the Christian worldview, and I mean, he gets a bad rap, a lot of times.
Is his like philosophy more like story poetry in a way? Like it's not necessarily like a hard philosophy. Is that one of the criticisms? It's like
no, it's very hard philosophy. No, it's hard philosophy.
Okay.
God, you guys look so Christmassy. It's amazing.
Right?
Nice.
Yeah. Starting early. All right.
Well,
so
this essay starts off with Nietzsche's what he calls the eternal reoccurrence or the eternal return.
The eternal return, yeah.
Which is the wheel of life itself, the samsara, the birth and rebirth kind of process, which I had never kind of connected Ishmael or Damodred as being
Nietzsche.
But I mean, I guess they are, right?
Of course.
Well,
because of the bitterness that you were talking about before. And it's like, and there's a fine line between like bitterness and someone who they herald as starting a revolution, because that's where it all starts. Anger
is an energy, right? Yeah. Now there's this very like subtle distinction, and that he like emphasizes all events and experiences occur over and over again and in the same way. And that whole like notion. So Josh, he also then follows this up with like, you could read this as like a metaphysical truth about the world, or you could read this as, how did he put it? It also be more a thought experiment, right? To challenge what he says, to challenge what we value and the choices we make. Do you see it as like he's saying this is the truth of the world, or is this he's saying this is a way to look at man and our like mortal, what we got to do within our mortal coil, right?
Well, so I have a pretty postmodern interpretation of Nietzsche, in that, like, for me, it's the eternal return of the forever different. And difference is what's at stake here, not identity. And so it's not the same thing reoccurring, but it's the difference that's reoccurring.
And which would be choice based, right? Like human choices, or it makes the difference.
Well, so difference is the inverse of identity, in the sense of I am a being with a soul and a body and a personhood. So difference is the reverse of that, right? That everything but the I exists. And I mean, Nietzsche does say, like, and again, like the way that Robert Jordan brings around the world, like the idea of the wheel of time is very Nietzschean for sure, because it is based on samsara, it's based on stoicism, it's based on, it incorporates all of these ideas.
It's I have to assume, and we had talked about associating the artist with the art.
Yeah.
But I have to assume with Robert Jordan being a Christian and going to church, that he does not necessarily believe this is the case, because there are religious options that do, kind of chase this idea and foment that. And Christianity doesn't necessarily do that. It's just you're done until God wants you, and then you go up to heaven.
Then you go up to heaven.
Yeah. So when we talk about like truth wise, it's interesting that it is absolute truth in this world. There is a world, there is a wheel, there are souls that are spit out. And I mean, so Josh, this article goes a little bit into genetics. It talks about the blood.
Yeah, let's talk about that part of it. I love that part of it.
But this is concerning to me. Then is the Ubermensch mentality, or this eternal return where things are the same? Is this then like a genetic? Is this like a eugenics kind of thing where it's like we want some Manetheren blood and everything, then we get a little. Go right.
It sounds like a cosmic caste system if you look at it. Like, yes, like Manetheren blood, like if you like somehow accept it and you're in a video game, you get a buff, right? You get like some sort of like courage buff or something, right? Like, like not just because of your mentality, but it's in your blood, which is interesting.
I mean, we talked about that, right? Like, what are the genetics of the Manetheren people such that the savior comes to be through them?
Yeah. And
it's a really interesting question.
Yeah. And this brings up like the moment when Moraine talks to the kids about Manetheren. She doesn't say you guys are genetically bred to,
right,
XYZ, jump high or run faster. She's saying like
jump high,
go fast, you have
Manetheren
blood in you, and specifically don't forget it. It will serve you in the future. And that goes into the whole idea of like history is not about he breaks this whole thing down. Like there are 3 types of historians, but in the end, Nietzsche said he wanted a more balanced view of history. It's like history should serve life.
The 3 views were monumental view, antiquarian, and critical view.
Yeah. But back to that point though, like history should serve life. I didn't know what the fuck he's saying until like there. He's like, yes, it's manipulatable. It should serve, like she used history to make these kids stronger. She didn't say that you know what I mean? Like, so it was like, it was a really cool way that he like brought in like a very probably huge part of Nietzschean like ideas about how to look at history. And then he distilled it down into that moment, which I thought was really good. There are so many times he brings very complicated Nietzschean ideas, and then like the examples from the show I thought were a lot of times very cool and appropriate.
So tell me more about that moment that you're talking about, though. Like, where is that moment?
The moment, so the kids, so they're riding off. They just left the village, and all of a sudden, like, they all become like a barbershop quartet, and they're on their horses. And he's like, swing low, sweet chariot. And then like Matt's like, yeah, that's just a song. And like Moraine just starts then like going off on this long thing about the blood of Manetheren. The speech that in the book she gave to like a crowd of rabid like Two Rivers folk with like
Pitchfork committee.
Yeah, right. At the Pitchfork committee, yeah. And then she like
the Pitchfork committee.
she spins her like the shaft, the staff, and then like does this like song and dance, and then woos the crowd, but then it turns into like this like intimate thing. But yeah, like so that's
But
where
regardless of all that, the blood of Manetheren is strong. It is strong. Like we hear this and we know it. We know that. I mean, the Heroes of the Horn even I think kind of mention it.
Yeah, they do, right? Yep. Yeah.
So this. I mean, so how do we associate this with Nietzsche then? Does Nietzsche? We have the heroes. We know that like Battle Kane, he always is short and ugly. Brigitte's always younger than him. I assume they always are great noble people. They don't regress. They are always hero level people. They're just not heroes. They're just right. I mean. Just like you assume that if you once you reach level 20, you don't get reborn back to level 4. You stay at level 20, kinda, right? I mean, do you hear what I'm saying, Josh? I mean, is in regards to Nietzsche, is this how it works? Are the good people born good?
No, that can't be.
Not
according to the Wheel of Time, at least.
Can Brigitte ever be bad? How about that? In any of her reiterations, has she been a bit?
That's a really good question, Ryan. Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing: they've always said that no one can stay as long in the shadow and not come back into the light, right?
Right.
So, if from what I've been reading more and more, and I don't know too many people who have read this more than me, everything has an opposite.
Sure.
Yeah.
So does that say that every time somebody comes back from the shadow, does somebody go to the shadow, or vice versa?
I don't know if it could like literally has to be a 1-to-1 ratio.
Because listen,
like, I don't know if
remember what Hawkwing said to Rand. I have fought against you as many times as I fought with you.
He did say that, and that was a very fucking confusing line. Absolutely, yeah.
Yes, it was. But then later on, Sanderson has him saying, "We have never fought against the light."
No.
Yeah.
He said that
Rand. Yes. Motherfucker.
No. Sanderson does say because Matt's like, "Oh, I thought maybe a dark friend got the horn." He said, "Oh, we'd never follow a dark friend."
The horn, the heroes would never come back. But no one said that when they were in the real world as alive that they couldn't be bad.
Right.
Why not?
Oh, okay. Very different point. Okay, you're right.
You know, because the pattern makes Tavern do what it needs, right? Like it's balance. So if there's someone out there as strong as Rand, as strong as Matt, as strong as Perrin, at some point there's somebody who's bad that's as strong as them too.
Does Nietzsche have balance? Is there a like the opposite of the Übermensch?
No, what? No, he's like all about. He basically it's in the here that life is abundant chaos. Like it's just like we're living in a chaos environment. I don't know if there's a balancing agent. He said like there's no God in his like philosophy. There's no there's like a I don't even know if he ascribes a creator, but this world's repeating. We're all
he does say to have a love of fate, which is amor fati. So the love of fate is that's an interesting phrase as well, right? You don't have a creator, but you embrace the inevitability. Was it the the phrase? The existential imperative.
Can we disprove that we're not in a loop?
No, nor can we prove that the other. We can't prove or disprove either.
I think I read somewhere that it's harder to prove that we're not in a hologram than that we are.
That makes sense, but more like it's easier to disprove that we're not than we are.
Yeah.
It's and that's I guess has always been my big bummer with a reincarnation cycle, in that you don't remember what you did. And so to me, that's the biggest bummer. It's like, man, I like what I got going on here. And like the fact that I would be reborn and have no knowledge of what happened. But yeah.
Well, did you ever think about the fact that like reincarnation is wrongfully interpreted? Because think about this: the same exact amount of matter is in the universe, right?
Mhm.
All
Yes.
the same amount of matter. It's just distributed and used in different ways. Like,
Yeah.
So at some point, that same matter might go back into something else, reincarnating it, right? So,
I don't think that that's what the existential imperative really is suggesting. I think it's suggesting that you come back as a being, not as stardust and maybe as a comet. That you come back as a sentient being, correct?
Yeah, but this is all because of human hubris that we have to believe how important we are because we're here.
If we knew nothing of the birthing process,
Right.
and Josh, if I said, Josh, do you know that you actually were conceived because a guy ejaculated into your mom? You grew in her stomach.
Ew.
You grew in her stomach for 9 fucking months. You came out and for all you had for a whole year was titty milk. And it sustained you, and you grew big, and you learned how to crawl, you learned how to walk. None of this shit like you would believe if you didn't know that the birthing process. No, I wouldn't believe it. I'm like, I don't remember that. There's no way I remember that. The first thing I remember, I've always just been a kid or whatever. So we don't remember the birthing process. So shit. I mean, but we know it happened.
Does a cow or a dolphin or a dog or a mouse remember it either?
The birthing process? I would have to imagine no.
Yeah.
But we know that it happened. So that's why I'm saying, as far as like mysterious shit, it's like if you told me I came out of my mom's pussy and was tied to a cord, like attached to a cord that they had to cut, like that would be so weird. I wouldn't believe you. But it happened. But I was there, but I don't remember it.
I mean, I don't know what you're saying though. Like, then
so I'm saying just because we have proof that it happened, I know that this happened. Otherwise, I would. Yeah. So as far as past life or future life, along these things, I mean, shit happened to me that there's no way I can remember, and I'm okay with that, right? I guess I should just be okay with there being perhaps a former life that even happened. If I don't know, man. Do you hear what I'm saying?
On some level, it's like, if you don't remember it, is it meaningful? If it's not in your consciousness, is like whether or not that is a thing, does that even matter? Except for us to be kind of closer to like capital T truth or whatever. But like if like, yeah, like all of a sudden someone's like, I've proven with scientific infallibility that there's past lives. If none of us fucking can remember any of this shit, then why is that even like worth
important?
Yeah, right. Like that's it's like vestigial. It's not.
It's a vestigial memory.
Yeah, it's like a vestigial like truth. Like, oh, fuck it, all right. Well, we're all like, and Nietzsche would say, yeah, like there is power in forgetting. If we remembered everything about even our own life and choices, we would be held back from trying to pursue like the Ubermensch fucking Joe Rogan mentality. Like we're gonna be better at all times. Like you're gonna
we wouldn't. We'd be like the wolves.
In that
they remember everything.
They remember everything.
The wolves remember all.
Yeah, they remember everything.
They're stuck on 4 legs, man. Like they're like they haven't evolved to like human. I don't know. Yeah, that would be nice. Like like elephants remember everything, but like they don't always seem happy.
I mean, this is another one of these essays where it's like the show and the books are held in disregard for one another to some degree, right?
Absolutely.
Well, and this author really has no problem shitting all over the Tuathawan.
Right.
Oh, the spite that was thrown at the traveling folk in the way of the leaf. He said that they help barely, or what is it? Hold on,
Well,
it says
see, and
Barely.
this comes from what I was talking about before. Why I always have a sort of disdain when I see these are coming straight from the show, because the Tuathalan hold a highly important part in the books.
Mhm.
They symbolize a extremely in so many ways too. And in a lot of ways, oh my God, I can't wait until the next chapter that we talk about, because there's so much that I want to jump into, because I've already read this stuff. I
No.
feel like
Arr.
but I think looking at the Tuathalan and shitting on them is pretty much just like they were shit on in the books.
Yep.
Yeah, you know what? You're probably right. I mean, it's the guy says here, quote, the best thing that can be said about the Tuathalan is that the religion is not a cult, since they all leave the wagon when they're 20 years old and don't need a return should they choose not to. That's like the only thing he says. Like, he does not like this at all.
Oh yeah.
He does not like this at all.
I mean, and
he uses them as the point of aestheticism and the voluntary denial of instinct and nature. So, as opposed to going Ubermensch, trying to achieve and strive, I guess he sees the Tuathalan as just lazy, and actually just like they're like, oh man,
no,
again,
he's talking about the
voluntary denial of instinct.
He's talking about the natural instinct, and the natural instinct for him, at least, is to fight back. I wonder if he's ever been bullied before or something. Maybe he has, but it sounds like he's angry at them for not wanting to fight back. Sounds like that to me. And I've had those feelings before too.
Well, how about this? Like I feel like some of my most pivotal moments in life are like conflicts between like other men, and how did I handle it? And if I don't, rise to the occasion in some sort of like manly way, I'll be like, well, not now, but like my younger self used to ruminate on that shit for weeks. Like I'd be like,
oh yeah,
I should have just fucking, and then I would have need him. Hey, say la vie. Say la vie.
What's up, my brother?
Well,
Awesome.
Ryan, you also, in puppet stature, are a very large man.
I can accidentally kill a man.
But you are also given the distinct gift of being able to say, "You don't want this fight."
Yeah, Ryan said it's not.
I give him the too small. I'd be like, damn, too small, bitch.
Ryan, do you remember telling me it's not that hard to be a pacifist when you're 6'7"?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah, hell
yeah. No, absolutely. No,
we're feeding our own privilege, I think, Ryan and I, by our size.
I'm trying to teach this to my son, who is 11 years old, 160 pounds. The doctor says is going to be 6'5" to 6'8", and he's going to be like 300. And I tell you, he asked me, "What do I do with bullies?" I was like, "Son, if somebody's bullying you, then you should be really, really worried, because that's a very, very, very scary individual. No one's going to do that. You have to be a superhero. Be a pacifist. Seriously, that's what you do when you're that big.
Either I don't know how many times he's destined to a life of like turning a corner and women just literally going, ah! Oh, I'm so sorry, you scared me. Like I can't tell you how many times this happens to me. Like I'm a monster out of a fucking movie, and I'm just walking.
The bass player in my old band was 6'7", and we walked into a grocery store, and a little child grabbed his mommy and pointed at him and said, "Mommy, is that a bad guy?"
Oh shit. My bass player was 6'7" too. What do you know?
Yeah. No, that's so funny. I was there. Dan, Kelly was like fucking 3 years old, and we went. Remember, we used to go to the laundromat, and there's a 7-Eleven like 2 doors down. I walked into the 7-Eleven 2 doors down, and some biker dude walks in, just a fucking fucker, like gray
A
everything,
fucking
big,
fucker.
just like,
All right, go on.
and like Kelly grabs me and goes, you know, like that's a bad man, that's a bad man, pointing to him, and I was like, oh shit, and he did not take it well. He didn't
Oh,
laugh. He
shit.
fucking gave Kelly a fucking mean look. I was like, oh, that's it's so funny.
Oh,
All right. No, I
Maybe
mean,
you know.
yeah,
Maybe,
no, I know.
maybe he
Like,
was a bad man, and he was like, "Shut up, rat."
for me, it's easy to read Nietzsche because he's just basically talking about me.
oh, he's just talking about you, your puppet self.
Yeah, just that the Ubermensch. Yeah, like.
Well, let me get into this just a tiny bit. So it's suggested here, and he says it straight out. He says he's talking about the 12th one. He's like, they see the turning of the wheel as an opportunity to be passive, but what good is reincarnation if your plan is to just come back and let yourself be killed again?
Right.
You would not play a video game if that was the whole thing. And then he goes on to say that the Ubermensch is actually, quote, the eternal return is a will to everything, and it's about self-overcoming, and hence the line, what doesn't destroy me makes me stronger, etc. Is he correct in identifying the 12th one as being just existentially passive?
Well, I mean, I
Are they
think
actually
looking at
pacifists?
one sign of there's so many different sides, and you can look to, I guess, Katzwin and Sorelli for this, but there's so many ways to be weak and so many ways to be strong.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And we even see numerous times in POVs where they talk about the Tuathawan, where someone says, oh, they're cowards. And then someone like Piran says, well, I don't know them much like that. I do know that when there were thousands of deadly creatures about to kill us all, they decided to bear themselves down and try to save their kids, even though they knew they would die too. So
Right.
you know, there's strength in that some people can't or won't see.
Yeah.
Well, as far as I understand, I mean, what Nietzsche's asking us is live your life. Live your life in a way where you'd make the same choice every time. Whether
Yes.
that's for your pleasure, for the best of mankind, for the best of humanity, for the most enjoyment, whatever that is. That's the existential imperative.
Yeah.
And
This is where me and Nietzsche disagree.
Okay. But in a sense, Rand is asked that same question in The Wheel of Time.
Yes.
Like, how do
Yeah.
I live my life in a way that optimizes for salvation, that optimizes for bringing people peace, love, prosperity, all of the like good things that we carry with us that make us human and who we are. And
Yes.
so I do very much read The Wheel of Time through a Nietzschean lens. However, I also get that many people interpret Nietzsche, and especially the Ubermensch, as this kind of like Nazi, whatever. Like, and it does have that weight that it carries. But if you can ask yourself the question, how will I do this if I had to do this every day? And you keep coming back to the right answer. That's the heart of ethics, right? How would I act if I had to repeat this eternally?
But are you acting in the same circumstance?
All right, real quick, guys.
Yep. With the montage.
Yeah, you
Are
do
you
your
my
homework,
dad?
son.
Yeah. The answer is yes. And I'm glad you finally found me. Yep. I've known about
I love
you.
it.
I've known about you.
LOL.
I know you. I know where you live. I've been following you since birth. I am your father.
Yep.
So
I am your father.
If Rand lived his life in the Nietzschean fullest, would he act? And I think he did. Like, Rand is the Ubermensch in a sense. He would act every time, right, to save the world, to
But he
carry
did it differently this time, right?
He did it differently this, and that, but that's the repetition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the eternal return to the forever different, is like, okay, I'm bringing with me this change. And this change is the thing that will transform everything else. That's the messianic message, right?
Well,
yeah.
It quotes Loyal here when he says, "We are all the heroes of another age's legend. I think it's time we start acting like it." Is that more or less correlating with what you're saying?
Say that one more time, Dan. I'm sorry.
No, I hate that. I hate that he said that.
It said, I'll do it again, and then we'll discuss. It says, "We are all the heroes of another age's legend. I think it's time we start acting like it."
See, and that's the opposite of. I mean, like, so what Josh was saying, like, unless the one person Rand was able to change the future of everyone, right? Like, this is where I'm struggling. He's talking about everything recurs the same way all the time. I don't understand where our choices matter, but
no, but it does.
Also, like,
it means you always have to surf that edge. I mean, again. Let me just say, I got laughed out of my Nietzsche class at New College because I interpreted through a Deleuzian postmodernist lens that, like, even my teacher was like, "You're fucking out there, dude." So
yes,
I'm presenting something that is not normative.
No, but I'm vibing with everything you're saying. Like, already, like, I've yet to disagree.
This is how I live, and this is how I want to live. Like, I see Rand as like, you're gonna make that decision. That is the hardest fucking decision of your life every time.
Yes.
That's the moment of eternal return right there. Like, that, yes, I will do the thing. I will continue to live. I will continue to be the one who carries the world on my back. And we see Rand do that throughout the novels over and over and over again. Right? I mean, I want to hear what you have to say. I know you all have such deep thoughts about this shit. So
no, I'm learning. No, but I'm here to learn too. Because I've not taken a Nietzsche class, so this is
the only deep thoughts I have about it. It's like, see, for me, I have crafted my entire life to do something different every single day.
Yeah, that's different
from my jobs. Even I don't. One day, like, I don't know if you guys have been watching. I posted to some of you guys. I've been in a cell block the past couple days.
Fuck yes.
I just became the cameraman last week because they couldn't figure out how to get the cameras in that small corridor without getting seen by the other cameras or the booms getting seen. So we had the ingenious idea of using the cops' body cameras as the actual film.
Dude, fuck yes.
So me and the other 3 prison guards were filming. And we got DP bumps for that too.
Let's go!
Yeah.
But
that's amazing.
I live my life so because I crave difference, having something different every day. I went hitchhiking on a whim just because of that, and I went from Cleveland to Brazil.
Damn, Dan. Sometimes I use my left hand.
So I like. Be different. So it's like
savage
having a philosophy or trying to follow a philosophy where I even in any way say that I have to do the same thing tells me that I wouldn't probably because of the circumstance I'm in.
Well, I don't know if he's saying that though. I mean, the whole mantra, whatever doesn't hurt you makes you stronger, is along those lines of going and doing. Correct? Am I right on that, Josh?
So. I mean, I interpret Nietzsche through a lens of difference again. So I'm exactly right there with you. Like, what returns is not the same. It's not identity. It is the everything else. What is repeating over and over and over again is the opportunity. Right?
I agree with that definitely. Yeah.
And that is where difference falls in. And that's where it's not the return of the same. It's not the eternal return of the same. You aren't looping on an endless fucking echo.
And that's even what Rand says. We get to try again.
Yeah. I mean, I felt like the Wheel of Time edified me in the sense of like, this is how I read Nietzsche. That someone makes a choice that leads them to lead a life that's different than the repetition that they've had before. And Rand is that. I mean, I don't know if you watched our first time reader show, but that was my argument the entire 3 years of we were doing it. Like, Rand is unique. Rand chooses to be different than all of the other dragons before him. And that's what causes this book, The Wheel of Time, to be this turning of the wheel, to be the one that we're reading about. That's what allows him to become the savior. That allows him to break everything. That allows him to transmute bodies. Allows him to do all the things, right?
And this entire book was made for discussions.
Yes, it's so great.
Because now, I mean, you guys all know where we're going next. Because, I mean, everything we're talking about is segueing directly into free will.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, the next chapter is about free will. Yeah, we'll get there. I know. Be disciplined, Jensen.
Oh, sorry.
Jensen.
I did this before. I'm sorry. You know how I get, man, when I read ahead.
Yeah, no.
Sorry.
What does this line mean to you in correlation to the book? Quote, to become what one is, one must not have the faintest notion what one is.
To become what one is, one must not have the faintest notion of what one is.
Yes,
I love the second what is italicized. Correct.
Yeah. Is that Nietzsche?
Correct.
Yeah, it's in this,
Because this also is like Confucius and Sun Tzu as well.
I was about to say, so this is, I mean, Dan, you're getting like literally to what I wrote my thesis about in college. Like, this is the essence of difference. That phrase, that thing, is the moment, and it is. It's Lao Tzu. It is Buddhist, like the ultimate and the conventional, and how. So you have to be able to hold discordance and difference and multiplicity. Yes. That there are multiple truths that all are happening on top of one another simultaneously.
Yes.
Right. That is what that sentence says. That in order to become what I am, you must abandon all of the thoughts of what one is before, essentially. Right?
You know, they talk Henry Aslan, if you guys know who that is in the books.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
He mentions this in the last battle, that the women were learning faster because they had no perceived notion of how to use a sword.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
They weren't attached.
This goes back to also Sun Tzu, where they tell a story about his general, who told him he could make all of his maids fantastic swordsmen. And he ended up doing that very, very horrifically, but this goes along those same lines. I wonder if Robert Jordan had read Nietzsche.
I'm sure he had. I mean, it would be shocking if he hadn't. Philip K. Dick did his
Citadel too, so yeah.
He was at the Citadel, yeah. I mean, Philip K. Dick did as well. And again, so Philip K. Dick has this term, his credo, human is. And it is about this moment, this like that humans aren't nouns or verbs. And I know, Ryan, I know you and I have talked about this a lot. Like, I don't believe in the philosophy of identity that makes humans nouns. We are verbs. We are an active participant. Rand is a noun in the sense of like, I can point at him on a page in a book in the metaverse. But what makes Rand unique is his ability to be a verb, to be an agent of change within his world and environment, to choose to engage in that flux of nowness in the nexus of the now that leads to the new thing. Yes, donuts from the center of the universe.
All right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Damn. So that being said,
but doesn't Tavern step on that though?
Doesn't Tavern step on that? Okay, give it to me, Dan. Why?
Is Rand the absolute reset button?
I think so.
Is he the reset button?
The reset button. Is he the beginning and the end? Does it start all over now? Because here's the thing. There's another thing about the Wheel of Time. The wolves, and I was thinking about that because I said about the wolves before.
Okay.
Piran's ability is so old, they couldn't remember.
It's unnamed. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is from the beginning.
Yeah.
So everything that's happening right now is from the beginning. So Rand, and you said how he's unique. He's the reset.
Mm-hmm.
Do we assume?
It's about to start all over again. The entire beginning.
Do we
But
assume
isn't
that
that-
these talents are recycled? Like
think
Wolf
that
Brother,
they-
like
I think that at one
clairvoyance?
point people had Kieran's ability because Lanfear talks about it.
Yep.
Right. So is it genetically recycled though? Is it? I mean, or is it wheel
Or
driven?
No,
is it like
because
a
remember,
pattern buff?
The wolves
Yeah.
have to choose you.
Mm.
We know of no like genetic pass down, at all. I do wish I still say Gaul should have been chosen too, but whatever.
Hell yeah.
He called them brothers in the Wolf Dream. I would have
Hell
thought
yeah.
he should have had yellow eyes.
Especially like, the Aiel never really interacted with the wolves. Like Two Rivers folk were fucking shooting wolves with arrows. Like left and right.
No. Hey, you get near my sheep, I'm gonna.
They were
shoot
like the
you.
natural like
Two
like
Rivers
predators or wolves.
bordermen. They wouldn't shoot wolves at all because they used them as signs.
Right.
The bordermen they knew that Trollocs hated wolves and wolves hated Trollocs. So
You're getting
what is that?
Slap.
Yeah, fact slapped.
No guards. Yeah. Oh, he says you have the ability or not. Oh, okay. Well, hey,
no, that's wrong.
You gotta back that up. Back that shit up.
Okay, yeah, I'll debate you all day on that.
We want quotes.
Yeah, I want to. Yeah, bring it, man, because that's not true at all.
So, I mean, in order to understand Nietzsche, you need to look to Martin Heidegger.
Jesus, I love. Okay, go on, Josh. Okay.
I've been wearing this hat forever. What?
I don't.
All right.
Some funny people in chat tonight.
So Heidegger talks about the idea of being and the idea of becoming.
Yes.
And again, I'm going to go back to this idea of like noun versus verb. That's how I like to like simplify it as much as I can to like bring it into my everyday life. Like Rand as a reset button. I love that idea, Jansen. Like I hadn't really thought about it in that way. But yeah, he's the verb. Rand is the verb of the wheel. And it's like, because that, and that's sort of what free will is in a sense, right? And I know we're going to talk about this more next week, but like to become, the act of becoming itself is what Rand is doing. That's what makes Rand unique. That's what makes Matt, obviously, I mean, really, that's what Taverness in a sense is like this sense of becomingness that is going on if we had to look at it through a philosophical lens, right? Now, granted, it's also like fucking with reality and like whatever, wolves are being born with 5 legs and like people are marrying and divorcing and like whatever. Shit's getting shaken up because that's the way the textual reality needs to represent the churn. But in a sense, it's that becomingness that is what is going on with the Tavern. And what Rand ultimately does when he encounters the Great Lord, when he encounters the Dark One, is he puts this static, like you can imagine, and again, this goes back to Gnosticism for, again, referring back to the First Time Reader show, like the idea of this that God is not good and evil, that God is not just good, but there is a God that is all of good and evil combined together, that is not self-aware that it is good and evil, that it's just everything, right? And then within that, there are 2 awarenesses that arise, of which we are part of, right? One is the good quotient, and one is the bad quotient. And you can see the Dark One and the Creator as those self-aware identities within this manifestation of the creation energy, as the things that are banging against one another. And Rand is the verb that allows those 2 static nouns to engage with one another in a way that allows for the world to transform.
Is he the only verb?
No, I think Matt is a verb, and that's why I refer it back to Taverness. Like there are other people with free will. Perrin certainly plays a role. So do all of the women who I think are Tavern, which I know we've not gotten into in this show, but like, well, it seems unfair that like Egwene and Nynaeve are not Tavern, right?
Yeah, Robert Jordan specifically said only the 3 boys are Tavern in the novels. Like all of and I understand why on some level. It's like, yeah, like it makes their accomplishments more great, you know.
Here's the
We
thing.
can
You got to remember that Egwene and Nynaeve and Elaine, for sure, all of them.
And Elaine, yeah.
They all had tutelage that the boys never had.
They did. Yeah, that's true.
Like Nynaeve was chosen to be the wisdom at a very early age. Egwene was also chosen to be the wisdom at a very early age and taught by Nynaeve. Elaine was taught by the best in the world from the very beginning.
Yep.
She even said in one of her POVs, by the time she was 12, she could have done things politically that Aes Sedai wouldn't have even seen.
And
so
I mean,
they were very capable.
Yeah. So I do love the counterplay of that with our own, like if you were to look at like the woo world of like YouTube and blah, 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 right? Like the healthy masculine is the like ordered creating progress, blah, blah, blah.
Let's show them the healthy. Let's show them.
And the healthy feminine is like breadth and flow and all of these things. And I think it's interesting that the men in the Wheel of Time are more of the feminine energy in a sense. They're more of the yin energy of this like flow and formlessness.
Well, that has a lot to do with the taint.
It does. It absolutely does. Whereas the women are, again, tutelage, have given tutelage, and then shaped into this kind of much more yang energy, masculine teaching path that leads them forward, as opposed to like Rand and Matt and Perrin, who are all just like thrown into the fucking pit of wolves. Okay, that's not the right pit of lions.
Vipers,
den of lions.
Yeah.
Thrown to the wolves.
Pit of vipers.
Thrown to the wolves. The pit of vipers. There we go. I'm mixing and matching a bunch of metaphors there.
No.
What? Wow, no pants.
Yeah. Jesus. Do you think any of us on screen are wearing pants?
I don't have any pants on. What about you, Jansen?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to stand up.
That's right.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Camera will be off before I stand up.
If you've never gotten an invitation to be on the show, we always say no pants.
I'm really looking forward to next week's conversation when we talk about free will, because I will get into Tavern more. And Josh, we are on opposite ends of the Tavern spectrum, and that you feel that Tavern have the most control. I think we were reading a story of Rand nearly getting torn apart by the pattern forcing him to get into a position. And so we'll get into that a little bit.
I can't wait to talk about this one because
no, it's funny. I think the opposite too, but also I totally agree with Josh. I've never thought it in the ways that you thought it, but I felt like
I agree with Elon.
Yeah, and then
with who?
And then it goes.
I agree with Elon.
Yeah, just blow it all up.
I mean, it always makes the Wheel of Time always makes me think of that Simpsons episode with the guy who can't stop hiccuping. It's like,
okay, go on.
Kill me. And I feel like that's Demon Dread now over. Imagine the Dark One giving Demon Dread or Aelon or the ability to remember everything. That's why you forget, because you'd be saying "kill me" every single day. You don't want to go through this anymore. It's been, and if he can remember everything, it's like, remember, they were like, did they punish you, Aelon? Yes, he brought me back to life.
Yeah. You know, we do have a couple people that do remember their past lives, and it is a boon and a curse, right?
So how many people do we have?
We have Matt, we have Rand, we have.
I don't think it's Matt's past lives, man. No, that's not. I'm sorry.
No, yes, I do think some of that is. I do think that they might be Matt's past lives.
I think Robert Jordan answered this.
He did?
Chat, did Robert Jordan answer this? What did Robert Jordan say?
It might have just been visitors to the Tower of Genji. Okay. It might have been just savored memories that they sucked away. But we do have past memories. Let's say past memories. Let's say, all right.
Past memories.
We have
others too.
We have Brigitte. We have Rand. We have and I'll say Matt because he starts saying old tongue even before
That's
true.
true.
Yes,
Yeah,
he did.
but that's different because that comes through the dagger, not through past.
No,
life.
he did it before the
He
dagger.
started doing it before he had
Oh,
the
that's
dagger.
true. No, he does speak.
I know,
That's true. He
that's
does
what's
speak
so
old tongue
fucked
before the
up.
dagger. That's true. That's true. But he doesn't have all the wisdom that he gets.
Yeah.
Because of the
But
old
he
blood,
also has
man.
Pat and Fane.
Right. Right.
Pat and Fane
Mm.
remembers.
Dan, that'd be like as if
Oh.
like you and I were like in the neighborhood and some street tough came up and wanted to fight us, and all of a sudden we just
Okay.
like yelled in Gaelic.
So Jansen
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
Show the couch into a
was Padden
tiger.
Fane inhabited by Moradin
No, not
prior
Moradin.
to arriving
Moradin.
with
Um,
the
Mashin,
heroes?
Mashin Chin or Mashadon.
Not Moradin.
Mordeth.
Mordeth. Thank you.
Yeah.
Was Padden Fane inhabited by Mordeth?
No,
in
they
your
were
opinion,
blended.
before they arrived with the heroes. At
He was.
Shadow
They
Loga.
blended right after they left Shadow Loga.
Okay, Shadow Loga. Yeah. Okay. So it was during the time that Matt acquired the dagger that Padden Fane in Shadow Logoth that Padden Fane and Mordeth merged, right?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Thank you.
And they were blended together. They weren't.
Yeah, because Padden Fane had been distilled. He was an
Yeah.
empty
Mhm.
shell husk, ready to be filled by this
Yep.
other presence of
Yep.
evil. Yeah. And so, I mean, that is a whole other fascinating. This like third spoke. What's the right metaphor here? The third point on the triangle.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah, the
good and
y-axis,
evil.
the z.
The
That's right,
z-axis. Yeah, the z-axis of on the good and evil graph, where Mordeth and Machin Chin come in during the last battle and that whole thing. I mean, that's a really fascinating aspect to all this.
We have the most sentient being in the entire Wheel of Time who has the deepest, darkest, oldest memory. And I don't think anybody ever thinks about this. Teleron God is sentient.
Teleran Riyadh is sentient?
Yes.
Okay.
And it can read your mind.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Teleran Riyadh is sentient. Okay. So
Oh.
when Rand in book 2 or 3, when Rand witnesses the battle in Teleran Riyadh, where like they blow one another up, where they have the energy battle with like Balefire, before we know what any of that shit is, when they're like hiding behind the wall in the world of dreams.
What book is that?
It may have been book 3.
Listen, you're
I'm
talking
thinking
about the
maybe
fight
Book
Dragon
3,
Power?
I think. Book
You're
3.
talking about the
it's
fight?
here.
The
Is that
fight.
Oh, the fight in Tyr. You're talking about the one with him and
Not
Ishmael?
when not when Rand fights Ishamael, but before that, one of the first times we see Teleran Riyadh, they're like hiding in it, and it's just like described as this like MC Escher-ish like world.
He's fighting
Robin. Mhm.
Robin.
Yes.
And yeah. And they do, and Nynaeve's there as well.
Yes. So that scene, and I know that happened so early that we don't have any of the scaffolding of the world building and cosmology yet. But I'm really actually interested. That is one thing I want to reread up until with my now having finished the series.
Now that you say that, that's a highly, highly underrated scene.
Mm-hmm.
That's a highly underrated scene. That's like a season finale scene, actually.
It felt super fucking important and super mysterious when it happened. And we recognized that as first time readers. And we were like, what the fuck just
Didn't
happened?
he try to turn Rand into a donkey too?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Are
Rand started getting hooves. And then he turned it back because remember, he filled it with water and piranhas were biting him too.
That was when he was fighting Ishamael, though, right?
No, that was Robin.
That was Robin? Okay.
That was the Robin fight.
Okay.
You thought donkey though? That's so funny.
Well, it said that he was starting to get hooves.
And
Like,
did
or
you go,
pig mouth
"Hee-haw,
or something.
hee-haw"?
Conflating two events. Yeah, thank you, Wadaholic. Exactly.
Yeah, and fucking
What did it say?
yeah.
Nothing. I'm conflating two events because
Oh.
I've only read the series. I've only read it once. So, it's like in my mind, when I think back to those early books, especially since I wasn't on the show at the time, I have a lot of like wishy-washiness in those memories.
Mhm.
Telling you, New Spring gives you so much info. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I just looked up the news. It appears Joe Rogan still lives, but Rob Reiner and his wife were found dead outside of their Brentwood home, apparent homicide.
Who is Rob
What?
Reiner?
Rob Reiner, he was the guy who did Spinal Tap. He was the guy who was Meathead in
Wait a second, are
All
you
the Family.
serious? Is this
Yeah.
true?
What?
Isn't there a new Spinal Tap movie coming out? Like,
What's that?
Holy
Yeah.
fucking shit! Really?
Dude,
Yeah.
I know people that work with him.
12 minutes ago. You did When Harry Met Sally?
No,
Oh my
I
gosh.
know he does some of my favorite shit ever. Wow! Oh my god! Just like an assassination.
It says they were of an
Wow.
apparent double homicide. That their deaths are attributed to lacerations consistent with a knife. Holy fuck!
I was very close to that area, like their neighborhood
Jesus.
last.
All right, everyone, like and subscribe.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, Merry Christmas, all.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna have to go in a second.
yeah, it's late.
Okay. Yeah,
All right, hey,
we'll be hopefully back next week. I don't know if we need to take Christmas off. It's not really Christmas, so I'll be free next week.
What is that? The
I think.
23rd?
It's the 21st.
Okay. I'm turning 51 on the 23rd, so
What? You don't look a day over 50.
Well, you don't look 51 yet. Give me 3 days, or give me 8 days. I'm just
I'm
kidding.
still playing 30-year-olds though.
Hell yeah. Yeah,
too.
if
Oh yeah.
only an actor could say that statement and get away with it.
And not be creepy. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm playing 30. All right,
Guys,
Josh,
thanks for joining us. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you.
No, yeah, just in recap, Josh, like, god damn it, like, you don't know any of my theories about this, but like, so many of your like things that your theories, your understandings about the novels, like, coincide with mine, like, so ridiculously.
Oh, really?
I love
it.
this.
Makes me so happy. It makes me so happy. Like, Dan and I have argued forever that Dan's like, no, this is gonna happen again. Like, Rand's gonna be again. I was like, no, Rand's different. And you're the tiebreaker, so I win. Dan, you need to
no. We'll
down.
talk about next week. Next week.
No,
is the
bow
official
down.
So,
All right.
Wadaholic does have a comment here about me referring to Perrin observing Samael, Belial, and Ishi on the Escher bridges. So that was the scene I'm talking about.
Okay, that was in the very first book then.
That is book 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's when he meets Brigitte, and Brigitte tells him not to go into the
So
tower
that
again.
is somewhat Tel'aran'rhiod-ish, though, right?
So I believe that's Tel'aran'rhiod that he's witnessing there.
Or
and that's
in
what
the
Anytime Perrin's dreaming, he's in Tel'aran'rhiod for sure. I agree with that.
Right.
What about the
we
wolf
obviously
dream?
didn't know that, and that's why
But he's also using need the whole time.
Oh yes, right. Need. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's why I say it's ancient. It knows what you need. It's
where did Rand fight those Forsaken though? So when he goes and sees the black cord that's attached to them, is this Tel'aran'rhiod?
No, it's in the space that he goes to when he fights the Dark
They're
One,
skimming,
right? Where he sees the true power connections.
Yeah,
where they go, where they
He
do
witnesses
skimming,
true
right?
power there, not one power.
yeah,
Has to be.
exactly.
Guys, I'm seeing a lot of new friends here. I'm really glad to see you. I hope you're having a really nice night. And please like and subscribe. I'd love for you to be back when we talk about stuff all the time. This is great.
Thank you for letting me spew my non-traditional views of Nietzsche and understanding them. Thank you. My pleasure.
Bro, I feel like this is one of my favorite shows I've ever been a part of because I felt like we were back in the studio just talking.
And we were there.
This is golden for me, man.
We've been stoned having these conversations before, 100%.
Oh, absolutely.
Next
All
week
right,
we
well,
will be talking free will. Go ahead, Jansen. I'm sorry.
I'm about to go do just that.
Okay.
Bye. Good night. Sleep
Have a
well.
great night. Yeah, we will be back.
Thanks for sharing
hopefully
this
next
week. It was fun to watch your adventures.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Break legs, Jansen.
Break legs.
Thanks to everyone for joining us. Thanks to everyone who was there yesterday. It was a fun marathon that we pulled off, and it was cool seeing all our friends there supporting. So thanks a lot, guys.
What did I miss
And
yesterday?
we hosted the Watt Idol Holiday Extravaganza, a
Nice.
5+ hour Lollapalooza
Event.
memes, songs, and guests, and all kinds
Cool.
of frivolity.
Hell
Yeah, it
yeah,
was fun.
dude. Awesome.
So yeah. So we had some fun with that, and I think we had I think a couple people in the chat. What say la vie? Avi is a new friend of ours. I hope, Ryan. Right?
Yeah. Yes, he was. Yeah, he was in the chat.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah, we'll be back next week, hopefully. If we won't, we'll be on Discord and let you know. And if you want to hop on our Discord, we may have a pants off party. Why not? So hop in, and I love you all, and I'm proud of you. The year's almost done. You've made it, guys.
It is. It's amazing.
Well done. 2025.
Yeah. More. Yeah. Go
suck
out
my
and
titty.
ho ho ho.
Yeah, go. Oh.
Go.
Yeah.
Go
All right,
show
run
Gen
for your
Zers how to have sex.
lives. Run for your lives. This is the way to leave.